Okay, things you'll need for this job is you'll need an oil filter of your choice. If you have this type, you'll also need the wrench that fits on. But if you go for the type with a nut, just make sure this, so this is a choice of yours. You'll need the correct oil. Check the specifications. 10W40 is the most standard. You'll either need to check as well if your bike takes fully synthetic or semi-synthetic. You'll need a washer to replace on the drain plug. The nut in this case is 17, but it's a 14 size. So remember, the head size, Spanish size, is not the size that you go for. It's the size of the actual bolt tread area. So which is a 14. Even though the bolts has a 17 head, you can either use a aluminium crush type washer or a copper washer. Of course, you need a spanner that fits your drain bolt or a socket set. And the torque wrench is optional. And remember, when you're buying one, to check what it is. This one goes from 6 Newton meters up to 60 Newton meters, and it's the most useful for working a motorcycle. The ones that start at, some of them start at 80 and go up to 120 or so. They're not really as useful for you when working on a bike. So remember, you want the lower ones. In other words, one like this, which is a one from Halfords, which goes from 8 Newton meters to 60 Newton meters. And you'll need some kind of container too. You could use any kind of thing. You could use a washing up bowl, anything at all, just to catch the oil that comes out of the bike. So that's what you'll need to do the job. And remember, as I said, the torque wrench is optional, but if you can afford one, they're well worth buying. And remember, buy a good one if you can.
Their main type of oil filter that's used is the canister type, the one that you'll need a wrench to try and remove, and there's the other type of canister which has a nut, and luckily enough it's a 17 usually on them, which is usually the size of the nut, the drain plug nut on your motorcycle. There are lots of different brands of oil filter. The main two really are High Flow and K&N, but there are lots of other manufacturers as well. If it's a canister that needs a wrench type fitting, you can either buy the one directly for that fits your bike, usually done by the size of the diameter, or you could, like I did, buy a complete set where you can have for variable sizes, because I do a couple of different types of motorcycles.
Again, before doing any bike, always warm it up.
This is a cartridge type. You can just see the cartridge in there. The first thing to do is to open up the oil filter. Okay, and the same. Oops. And the same on this, because air has to get it, otherwise it fills. The majority of motorcycles, 17 mil. Just here, at the bottom of the engine.
And there we go, out comes the oil. You can see, because the oil is warm, it flows quite fast, and you can see the reason why you need a container under the engine, otherwise you're going to have a big mess. I'm also wearing protective gloves, this helps, keeps my hands clean too. Make sure to let the old oil fully drain out. You can tidy up while you're waiting for the oil to fully drain. Next, move on to removing the oil filter. In this case, I'm using an oil filter wrench fitted to my socket. Again, you can see why you need a container underneath, because there will still be oil in the oil filter.
Okay, we put a new copper washer, a bit small, but it'll probably do. Cleaned it off, screw it in by hand. It's been driven there for quite a while. And 43. With the filter, comes with a plastic. If it was sideways, I'd fill it, but it isn't. So remove the cover. This is pre-oiled, but I'll put a bit of the new fresh oil on that. Screw the filter in by hand first. Reset the gauge to 17. Screw in the filter by hand. This is set to 17. Put this on. That's it, done. So the filter's now on, the oil plug's now in. Now put the oil in. Fill with oil. You can see the oil now. We fill it up to the top because the filter has no oil in it. Put the oil cap back on. Start the engine, and you can see that drop. Engine off. You can see it's empty because it should be another 2.2 litre in there. Top up with oil. We want to be sure we can start it again. Yep, it's settled, it's fine. That's it, done.
Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you.